Hey look, the bug guy is finally making a bug video. Thanks, cat. Hollow Knight is my favorite game of all time, and I don't even need words to prove it. Just simply look at my mascot. And my arm. With Silksong finally released, I believe I may find a new version of this quote-unquote urge I get every 6 months, and as such, I have decided to share it. Every now and then, I reinstall this game to do one thing, or three. Kill these bosses hitless. Something about fighting them just scratches an itch in mine, and that's why I have a feeling Silksong will renew that. Now, I'm gonna keep this brief and show you my build. It's the same across all three, and whether it's better or worse matters not. I find it fun. As I'm doing hitless, you'll see I'm overcharmed. That's not really gonna be doing much. Some might know him as the Nightmare King. Others might see him as a terrible father. I see him as the inspiration for my mascot, along with the Mantis. Allegedly the second most difficult boss in Hollow Knight, he is also the most telegraphed. Provided you can position right, and don't be too hasty with the dashes, it really just feels like a dance to the death that rewards you for keeping a solid flow going. I'd say my personal weakness here is when Grimm decides to turn into Mrs. Puff, because it forces you to break that rhythm to dodge a volley of projectiles. All in all though, in my personal opinion, this is probably the easiest of the three bosses. This boss isn't to be confused with the Mantisaurs, because that's exactly what it is. Until you reach phase 2. Yeah, these motherfuckers lock in when you injure one and decide to jump you all at once. You'd be surprised how much adding one to the count ramps up the difficulty. However, it also ups the fun factor. For this fight, you really have to keep your resources in mind as every iframe counts. I personally like to use Desolate Dive on very specific attacks, but it's also really easy to over-rely on it and run out when you actually need it. If I'm being honest though, this fight doesn't exactly advertise itself as such, but it really feels more like a dance than the dance. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It's really funny how easy it is to parry the Pier Vessel. Like, tell me, when have you ever intentionally parried in this game? For me, I end up doing it a bunch, and then I die because he hit a frame-perfect Frogger tech. So yeah, make sure to be careful where you Desolate Dive, because sometimes he'll just pop open a combo that's near impossible to dodge. I usually do it to follow up the parry or when he gets staggered, but sometimes I'll pop it for this or attack, as it acts more like a deadly smokescreen, and I don't like using my eyes. Pier Vessel out of the three usually takes me the longest to beat, but unlike the Mantisaurs, it doesn't get any faster. So once you learn how to counter the two new attacks, it's just smooth sailing from there. Well, that's about it. I scripted this right before Silksong released because I wanted one last perspective before I just dove in. And now that I have, I can confidently say, yes, Silksong has some amazing bosses. I just gotta wait for its God Home variant to drop before I practice doing those hit lists. There is one other boss in Hollow Knight that I thought of covering, but in all honesty, that requires me to beat the Pantheon of Hollowness, meaning I am a fucking fraud. Sorry, not sorry.